I also know that you're a millennial and maybe you'd mess up emojis sometimes. So I would have known.
Well, that's going to be our starter, since usually I'm embarrassing you in our starting message. I am excited because I have CoPart stories to share, and usually it's you that's all CoPart.
Are we starting with CoPart?
Well, I don't think we'll start with CoPart segment, but you haven't commented on the mass of...
Oh, God. Did you take those out of a car?
I did. I was poking around cars at the CoPart lot in Lansing, and there was a damaged Civic, and these were all in the back. These are great zip ties.
Hey,
you got
everyone.
something out of it.
Don't let Charlie in your CoPart lot. He'll steal things out of the cars.
Yeah, if you're watching, CEO of CoPart, really, they ought to be a sponsor at this point. We give them a lot of it. I was actually thinking about this. I was like, well, maybe CoPart should be a sponsor, but do you think CoPart,
They don't need it.
do you think they make any reasonable sum of money from casuals like us, or do you think 98% of their income comes from regular people, businesses who buy multiple cars a week?
I'm going to say it's probably 85 to 90% businesses. Because you can only buy so much if you're an individual. I mean, I think you can buy 4 or 5 cars a year as a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't buy very many if you're not a dealer. They limit the amount you can do. Because also it might also depending on what state you're in.
Okay.
I mean, states don't care how many cars you buy, but they care how many cars you sell. And I think CoPart figures you're just buying cars to flip. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
could have also changed. I could be wrong.
There's a statistic out there, some sort of principle called the 80-20 rule. I don't know if you've ever heard it. It's the idea that in any social situation with enough people, think businesses, for example, 80% of a business's market, like sales or whatever, come from 20% of the people, of their customers, and vice versa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So think of a casino, for example. 80% of a casino's revenue comes from 20% of their
gambling addiction people.
Yeah. Or, it works with a lot of different social things. You could think dating apps, for example. 80% of their swipes or uses or purchases, for example, or whatever, come from 20% of their population. It ends up working out that way for most large groups of people.
I probably learned that in business school.
Yeah, perhaps.
Probably did.
You were busy thinking about what you were going to do with your GS that day.
I was busy thinking about what color of deviated stitching I was going to order on my Cayman GT4 when I graduated and got some crazy job and made 6 figures.
And instead, you're at Daily Motor putting out episode 60 of the Daily Motor podcast.
Good segue.
Yeah, thank you. Do you think that when you, me, and our friend Matthew go to New York City, we should fly or drive?
If you can get us a Genesis G80 or a Genesis G90, although, okay, hold on, let's analyze this, right? We could drive, but then by the time you actually get to New York City, it's terrible. I have ridden around New York City in a car, and it's the worst thing ever. But it would be nice for the way there to be cozy, and it would save us a lot of money.
Well, I don't think flights from DTW to New York are that expensive.
They're $350 on a normal, yeah.
Well,
round trip.
All right, so that would add up.
Yeah.
Matthew and I were also just thinking it'd be fun, especially if we took 2 cars, 3 people, 2 cars.
Well, then one person has to be alone all the time. I guess that's not a bad thing. Sometimes
you
like to be alone.
Right. I mean, we could in theory take 3 cars as well, or only 1 car. But he and I were driving down 94 going quickly, allegedly. And when we stopped, we're like, it's so fun, just to be driving with friends, going a place with people and tandeming.
Well, he's not taking his Tesla. That's his only car. So what's he going to drive?
Can we do a video series where I take the Tesla to that trip, and he's like, "There's no way the Tesla could make it to New York. It'll be a pain in the butt." And I'm like, "It's fine, dude. It'll be totally cool." And then we take it, and it's totally fine. Do you think he's way under mileage on his lease? Because he only drives 2 miles to work and back, and then goes and gets hit on by old ladies at estate sales. That's all he does.
Oh my God, did he tell you about that?
No, you told us about it.
Oh, I told you about it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let him tell you the full story.
Yeah, okay. I tried bringing it up with him, but we were in a kind of a public setting. I don't think he wanted to lean into
can't
it.
talk
He told us about the washer and dryer, though.
Well, he bought that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're curious, you can fit a full-size washer and dryer set in the cargo area with the seats down of a Buick.
Oh my God, it fit?
Yeah, of a Buick
Wow.
Enclave.
We were like waiting for a phone call of, hey, can I borrow somebody's truck? But it never came. So I guess it makes sense that he...
I thought he was going to do one unit in the Enclave and one in his Tesla Model Y. They fit both in the Enclave. And it's not the first time his father had done that. So he knew already that it was capable of it. And kudos to you, GM. So the Enclave might be garbage in a lot of ways.
How much you want to bet
but
that
it's usable?
they genuinely tried that?
Like GM?
GM did.
Developing it?
Yeah.
It's possible.
I feel like GM has team members that drive around kind of like Charlie does, and they
Pick
look
up
for
random
trash
things.
on the side of the road and they bring it back and see if it fits in the cars.
They might. Might be
Yeah.
a department of them.
Mm-hmm.
See, I bet you couldn't fit a washer and dryer in a Toyota Sequoia, a new one.
No, oh God, no. No, the floor's way too high.
Yeah.
If Toyota offered a Sequoia that wasn't a hybrid, then maybe you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think it could be fun to drive to New York. We could do a press car. We could honestly just get 2 press cars, probably.
Yeah.
Although a lot of press cars can't be parked in New York City. So maybe we could like park them in a safe lot outside of the city and just take
Yeah.
the train in. Or
What would
something.
be ideal, do you think?
Well, G90 would be good.
Yeah, but
7 Series would be
but then
excellent.
driving that in New York, though, it's a big boy. Have you seen the episode of Top Gear, old Top Gear, where Jeremy and James drive their 2 classic luxury cars through London, and it's like the worst thing ever?
Yes.
That's how I picture it would be in a G90 and a 7 Series.
Well, they also drive supercars through New York City, and it's awful.
Yeah, but they can actually park at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, so that means that we should take the Porsche 718 GT4 RS and what else? A Maserati MC20 Spider. I think that would liven that car up a lot if it didn't have a roof.
Actually, I think you're right. You'd hear so much turbo.
And maybe it would
from
have
behind
normal
you.
doors too, potentially.
But I think butterfly doors kind of had some
Yeah,
character to
they
that
do,
car.
but it's just, you know.
Can you not have butterfly doors with a convertible?
You can. Lamborghini. Well, those are scissor doors though on Lamborghinis,
Oh,
right?
well, scissors fine. It's a similar
Scissor,
effect.
because you've got scissor doors. You've got which go like this. You've got butterfly doors which go like that, and then we've got coach doors which open the other way.
Yeah, you can't say the S word.
We can't say the S word anymore. But then there's doors. There's like the Aston Martin doors that kind of open up.
Oh, the like wing
Yeah,
doors.
whatever.
What the
I don't
official,
know. I watched there was a TikTok explaining it the other day. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because the Lamborghini doors go like this, and then you've got the I don't know, the other doors.
Yeah, thanks for giving me thumbnails here for the start of this one. A lot of different options at this point. Yeah.
Wait. There you go.
Great. Making my life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else I want to say about that? I feel like there was.
About an MC20 Spider. They make a Spider.
No,
don't they?
about like driving to New York.
They
and
make a
everything.
Spider?
Not yet. No.
They're going to though.
Maybe.
I thought I saw a photo of one.
Yeah, there's
Somebody's
so many
just
renderings these
made
days.
one.
You could literally just use one of those AI image generators and be like Maserati MC20 convertible, and it'd probably spit one out to you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Did you know that Lexus may or may not be working on an LFA successor?
Yes. Yeah, they told us that at the HQC.
Okay. Did they tell you that in confidence?
No.
Okay. Good. Yeah, that's exciting.
It's like a big, like long front engine thing.
I think it's gonna be electric.
Yeah. But it's like the architecture is like a
front motor.
Yeah, front motor, rear wheel drive.
Battery right in the front, so if you hit something head on,
Just
you
explodes.
yeah.
And I don't care if it's going to be electric. I'm not interested in it. So Lexus, don't even make it.
What if they still partner up with Yamaha though, and Yamaha just uses their piano technology and makes some really good sound outside of it, even though it's electric?
Okay. Yeah. Piano.
It's plausible. They make speakers.
That's
and
what I always
pianos
want
and
my
stuff,
cars to
keyboards.
sound like pianos.
Well, it's better than just.
They're never going to be able to. The Lexus LFA is from an era of cars that will never be replicated again, and there will never be any cars that are better than those cars in the soul department. We just talked about this. Remember how we miss how cars. Before, I don't know if Charlie was recording or not. We're talking about how Maserati, the new Gran Turismo, no longer has a V8. We're not surprised by this because Maserati said oh man, it's probably been 3 or 4 years now, that they were committed to going full electric. And they've just made their own V6, which we experienced a couple weeks ago in the MC20. We weren't thrilled with it. I've never really driven any V6s actually that I love. But anyways, this new V6 that Maserati makes a lot of power. It's very fast, but it doesn't really have the soul that we've seen in Maseratis of years past with that glorious 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V8. And now also the fast Gran Turismo is going to be fully electric, which means sure, it's going to be very fast, but the cool thing about Maseratis is that they always had that noise. Like Maseratis were known for their noise, and being able to purchase them 5 years later for 90% off of their MSRP, which will probably stay true. But anyways, what are you pulling up?
An image that was shared in a group that I'm a part of.
Oh, that's okay.
Isn't
So
that
this
a
is a Mercy SV. Is it Murcielago or Murcielago? Because Ed Bolian's the expert on this, and he says Murcielago.
I feel like that would just be doing it to be pretentious.
Okay, so there's
Murcielago.
Just say Murcielago Carrera GT and a F12 TDF. I have a diecast model of a white Carrera GT like that.
It's a cool car.
Yeah.
I like that the
What would you pick out of those three? I'd have the Carrera GT, no questions asked.
Yeah, it'd have to be the Carrera.
Yeah,
the Murcielago would be tempting, but
Mercy would be second pick.
Can you get
me.
the SV with a manual?
No. Well,
it'd be worth like $5 million.
I think there were a few of them made. Yes, but I don't know that any came to America.
Okay.
Or maybe they were only in America. Ed Bolian would know. Ask him.
Sure. Yeah, Ed, let us know. I'd probably take the Carrera as well. I like that the Carrera is such a happy-looking car. It didn't have to be all masculine.
I'm sure at this point you've seen that Doug DeMiro bought one.
Yes, I also wanted to point that out
Yeah,
in the podcast. Congratulations to Doug DeMiro for purchasing a
Good for him,
Carrera
man. I
GT.
feel like he's like the most deserving person for that.
Yeah. Well,
He's been busting his ass for like 10 years doing this, and
it's a cool full circle experience because he quit his job in finance at Porsche, had a 911 as like a company car and everything, and started working for Jalopnik and putting some really silly YouTube videos out.
Yeah.
And they clicked. He's busted his butt. He's worked hard, and he genuinely, he's always liked the Carrera GT for what it provides in a driving experience and an ownership experience. It's not a clout car.
no.
For the capability and the price of that car, it's certainly not a car that's like he's trying to like.
No, because you could have 3 Rolls-Royce Cullinans for the price of a Carrera GT.
Right. Yeah. Which, as we know from spending time in LA, Cullinan's not going to get you turning any heads either. But yes, if you stacked 3 of them on top, you'd probably turn some heads.
True.
Yeah.
If you mounted them all together.
Yep. Created a super Cullinan.
I think Mansory makes a ridiculous looking Cullinan.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I think that Doug, I think he'll enjoy that car. He'll own it for a while, whether he sells it or keeps
forever,
it forever.
He says.
Yeah.
I watched his video. He says he's going to keep it forever.
Yeah. I mean, we all say that, but you never know.
I'm staying true to that so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since I've owned my first car going on 11
assist.
years, baby. I need to make a 10-year ownership video on that because I guarantee no one else is.
I've owned this Cobalt SS for 10 years, and I drove it a lot for the first 3.
No, more so for the first. Actually, no, the first 3 it sat around quite a bit.
Oh, because it was purchased before you were of legal driving age?
It was purchased when I was like 14.
That's a tease.
Yeah, my dad drove it a little bit. He didn't
cool.
drive it much.
Keep it
but he drove
lubricated.
Yeah. I drove it the most from 2000. When was I 16? 2014 to 2019 were its most active years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's been
Now
there.
it's dusty out.
Have you shot a winding road video on it?
Yes, way back.
Really?
Chris shot one on it.
Oh.
Yeah, and here
okay.
let's see.
Probably got 100,000 views at this point at least. Yeah, that's it's a cool car. The Cobalt SS.
Dude, that was my first appearance on the Winding Road channel.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you sit in the passenger seat?
Yeah, because we did a talking review. That's back when Chris did talking reviews. 6 years ago. It's only got 44,000 views.
Probably because it's a talking review. If you shot it again, just like quiet POV, it would probably do pretty
well. It
well.
was posted October 19th, 2016. And yeah, it's my first appearance on the Winding Road channel.
I didn't realize that you've been buddies with Chris for that long.
Oh yeah, I've known Chris since 2014, I think. I've known him for a long time.
That's cool.
Yeah, I met him through Stu.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Well, I indirectly met him through Stu. I met him at Buttman, but Stu kind of was like, "Oh, you guys should be friends." Yeah.
Okay.
So I owe it all to Stu. Thanks.
Thanks, Stu.
That's why we put up with Stu having 16 million cars
Yeah, and underwear.
and underwear on the workbench.
Mm-hmm. This week at Daily Motor headquarters, we had 2 cars, but we drove 3. The first car that we'd like to talk about is the BMW M3 Competition X-Drive
Edition
50 YAR in Technoviolet Metallic.
job.
It is an amazing car that's not very fun.
It's very fast, scary fast.
Remarkably quick. The fact that someone with a decent credit score could go out and purchase one of those fairly easily, maybe not the 50th anniversary and everything, but an M3 competition regardless, with no verification of their driving skills whatsoever, it's kind of terrifying.
It is a death machine.
Yeah.
I am the most scared of M3s and M4s.
They're very easy to drive if if you leave the things on.
Yeah. If you leave everything on and drive them like normal cars, they're fine. They're normal cars. But when you put them in skull and crossbones mode,
yeah, Chris recommended that 2-wheel drive be crossed out.
They should
instead
just put
be
a little skull
and crossbone arrow.
They're sketchy.
Side note on that, Alyssa was curious yesterday when I was messaging you what the difference is between the skull emoji and the skull and crossbones emoji.
I don't know, because I only ever use the skull.
Yeah.
I think the skull is more of a casual use.
Whereas skull and crossbones is
like, ooh, woof.
Okay.
Bad.
So the crossbones makes it worse.
It's like, I am like...
Well, see, because what had happened is I was messaging you in a reply, and I accidentally used the skull and crossbones, and I backspaced, and I switched it to the just normal skull.
Well, I would have known what you meant.
Right, but I just wanted to, I feel like that. I agree with you that the vibe is different if you use the crossbones.
I also know that you're a millennial, and maybe you'd mess up emojis sometimes. So I would have known.
Well, that's going to be our starter. Since usually I'm embarrassing you in our starting message. Oh,
yeah,
I forgot. We have an apology to issue.
Oh, yes. In the last podcast episode, I said that Paris and Nicole were in a show called The Real World. Now, I understand that that's wrong, and I've known that that's wrong the whole time because Paris and Nicole were in a show called The Simple Life. But there was a show around the same time called The Real World where I believe it was a bunch of different contestants were in a house together.
Yeah.
I
think,
like
an MTV show.
It's like an MTV show.
Yeah.
And I think one time one of us accidentally said...
Me.
Okay, so I'm glad that you're taking this.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie said once The Real World, and then it got into my brain, and then we've both just been kind of saying it, but what we mean is The Simple Life.
Yeah, I apologize to the thousands of listeners who were cross with us. We got hundreds of messages about it.
Bad letters,
yeah,
nasty
I couldn't
emails.
even open up my email inbox because it was just filled with how could you guys get that wrong? Paris and Nicole's lawyers reached out, and defamation and everything. So we really do apologize. Chris knew better. It was me. I'm ignorant.
And also, I'm disappointed, Charlie, because that was more your era than mine.
Yeah.
Because I watched that show. My parents watched it, but I remember being very young. I was like very young when did that show come out?
I think that...
You would have been more like...
I just didn't watch trash TV like that.
You know how like when you're a kid, you all of a sudden just gain consciousness when you're like 8 years old?
Yeah.
You would have been conscious, I think, at the time of the Simple Life.
My parents watched Seinfeld.
So did mine. Yeah. Mine did as well.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay. So The Simple Life ran from 2003 to 2007.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely more my time.
Yeah.
But I just simply...
How old were you in 2007?
12.
I was 9.
I was watching the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, likely.
Oh, I was watching probably Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh was a good one.
Yeah. I never did Disney. Oh, also, in other news, Megan Fox and MGK broke up.
Yeah. I had a thought to myself when I read that of, well, Megan Fox is available, and then I realized I'm married, so it's not going to work out.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I like Megan Fox, but I like Alyssa better. So back on track. So again, apologies. Simple Life.
Sorry.
We'll try to remember that.
Too much pop culture for today.
Yeah. Did you watch the Super Bowl last night?
Yes, I did. What'd you think of
I
Rihanna's?
saw on your thing. I actually thought Rihanna's performance was quite good. I thought her performance was good, and I appreciated that she was tasteful. She kept all her clothes on.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people
Which is a thing that not a lot of Super Bowl people do.
That's true.
So I was curious, how many clothes are she going to take off?
Obviously, you have
with
everyone
her baby
that
inside.
yeah, right. Oh, that too. you have people every year that bitch about the Super Bowl
Yeah, I don't understand that.
halftime show. It's like a thing. It's almost like it's a tradition.
It's like they have their draft typed up already. They know what they're going to say before they even see the show, and then they just poop out the
because
message.
you know why? It's because everybody wants like stupid. I don't want to say stupid because I don't hate this kind of music, but they want like rock and like 80s like hair bands and stuff to do that, which is fine. Like bring it on, but you can't have the same genre of music every year at the Super Bowl. It's because it's boomers that bitch about it.
Yeah.
Regular people aren't.
Love to complain.
They do.
Yeah, they're big enthusiasts.
They call us entitled. They call our generations entitled, but they're the ones that
They're
are.
remarkably entitled.
They're remarkably entitled.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, I thought Rihanna did a great job.
Okay. Yeah, I
thought it was great.
I thought
She got through a lot of songs.
a lot of songs. She sang well.
She made great use of her time.
You can tell her high ends aren't really there anymore. As she's gotten older and everything, she didn't have the high like near the end of Diamonds, and then she had to drop an octave and everything. But I still thought she sounded really good.
She did sound good. Yeah.
You could tell she was moving around a little bit less than like a probably non-pregnant performer. But I thought all the dudes dancing around in the jackets looked like little sperms.
Oh, maybe that was a
I think that
symbolism.
might have been what because she was red, so she's like fertility, and then I think all the men dancing around were like the little sperms.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my read on it.
I thought maybe it was Squid Games related.
Could have been.
Not actually.
Yeah.
I just some boomer on Facebook wrote that. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're just buying in.
Yeah.
Also, more of a simple halftime show than a lot of previous years. A lot of times there's like,
lot
remember
of
Lady
people.
Gaga came in from the ceiling, the roof, and like fell in, and there was all this costume changes, and there's like 5 different artists that come in and make surprise appearances and stuff. No, this was just Rihanna went out there, sang.
Last year it was like hip hop stuff.
Yeah, last year was the
Which
50
was
Cent
cool.
and everything, and Eminem. I loved that.
That was
show.
a good one, yeah.
But that's very much my music. Like 2000s hip hop is like one of my top genres.
Mm-hmm.
So to have Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Eminem, they had Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like.
I was expecting Kanye to come out during Rihanna's performance.
Maybe that was talked about before he went off the deep end.
Yeah, right. I was expecting because there was all this talk about her having a guest, and then all the lights came on, and I was like, "Ooh!" I'm like, "Where is he? He's gonna come out." And then obviously he didn't. But.
Is he like full cancel at this point? He's made a lot of Jews upset.
I mean, Kanye's been on this weird tangent for like a long time now, so. I mean, I don't really know what I don't know what his limit is. At this point, he's such a big celebrity that like. Obviously anyone can get, booted away from publicity, but
he's one of the few celebrities that, as strange as it sounds, I actually feel bad for from a mental health standpoint.
Oh yeah, he's
because like
got something going on.
There's definitely celebrities where I'm like, I understand that they're probably dealing with like depression or various things or whatever, but like there is a degree of like if you have an issue and it's a mental health issue and you're not doing anything to remedy it, like it's kind of on you. If you have a lot of money and you're like getting depressed and everything, but you're also like still drinking or like still partying, like so you're not taking action to remedy it, I think that's a little bit on you. I do think Kanye has conditions that are like beyond his like immediate remedy.
I
if
agree.
that makes sense.
Nobody's just like that.
Yeah.
He's not just making that up.
No, I think he actually like could use serious help. Is
Emily is
here?
on her way.
She's on her way. Okay.
So she'll be here in 10 minutes.
We'll get her take on Kanye when she comes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We should put her in my seat for a second. She'll give some good inputs.
Okay. So let's backtrack here. Where were we?
M3. And then I had to apologize for Paris and Nicole references. Yeah. We won't get it wrong anymore. We promise.
Simple Life.
Simple Life.
Simple Life with Charlie and Chris.
We should have been Paris and Nicole this week because the M3 was more than $100,000 and it was purple. Yeah. Did you know? And this is why I want to be Paris, is because Paris owned a Lexus LFA.
That's fine and great and all, but I've got to be Paris. I've been a Paris Hilton enthusiast for many years.
Oh, have you? That's true. You probably, as a boy, liked her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I told you, my Steam account name has been Paris Hilton for a decade.
Oh, that's right. You've been big Paris.
Yeah. I like the irony of Paris playing like Counter-Strike and
Paris
stuff.
Hilton.
Yeah.
She's a big car person, actually. Like genuine car enthusiast.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, Paris, you're probably listening to the podcast then. Have us on at some point.
Lexus LFA. She had a lot of cool cars, dude.
She was like the OG supercar blondie, you know?
Yeah.
Can we pivot to another celebrity who's a big car person?
Patrick Dempsey?
No, Jay Leno.
Oh, yeah. He's got injured again.
He's been injured a bit. Jay, we hope you're on the mend. What a cool guy. Like I've heard universally positive things about Jay Leno, whether it's from other celebrities or from just casual people. I actually know someone who's met Jay Leno through Make-A-Wish. And
really?
Yeah, and he's just super kind. I mean, obviously gonna be a little bit more so for like a Make-A-Wish person, but like just genuine like enthusiast of cars and comedy. And those are two things I enjoy.
I saw a clip. You know, are you familiar with DDE, Daily Driven Exotics?
Yes.
Damon and all those guys?
Yep.
They were just they were like on Rodeo or somewhere in LA filming, and like Jay Leno just happened to pull up, and he had no idea who they were, or like I don't even know that he knew that they were filming, but he pulled up and he's just looking at their cars, you know, having a conversation with them, whatever. He chats with them for 2 minutes and then he just walks away. It's just like such a normal like car person interaction, you know?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I appreciate people like that.
Okay. Anyways, Lexus LFA. She had. This is the one I was forgetting.
Are we going to Paris Hilton's car collection?
Ed Bullion actually owned this car. She had an SLR McLaren.
I love those.
And it was a really cool,
brown?
very cool spec. No, it's gray with brown interior. And Ed Bullion owned this car for a little bit
before Paris.
Yeah, she got it repoed. It was repoed from her. She like stopped making payments on it or something, so it got repoed from her. And whatever, it went to auction, got sold to someone else owned it, and then it got like some hideous wheels put on it, and then it was sold to a dealer, and then Ed Bullion bought it from like another dealer.
Oh, it's going after.
So, you know, it had like a really sketchy history, but yeah, he owned it for a little while. BMW i8, whatever, not an enthusiast car at all. She does have an M8 competition right now. She had something else that was cool. Oh, Ferrari California, and then she's got like this iconic pink Bentley Continental. I'm sure you know about this one. This was like the car that she was known for. She's like driving this thing around LA. Like her whole thing was that she would like drive around and blast her own music out of her car. You remember when she made music for a little bit?
A little bit, yep.
So that was funny. But yeah, I mean, the two biggest ones for me, Lexus LFA and SLR McLaren. I mean, you've got to have some interesting cars to own those cars. I mean, i8 I could see maybe not
It's
carrying,
kind of a clout mobile.
whatever, but those two cars for sure.
Sure. We have a question for you, viewers.
Is it about Paris Hilton?
No, we're actually getting away from that for a moment. We have a friend, one we were talking about earlier in this podcast. He is in the market for some sort of sports car, preferably convertible.
Oh God, you want to go through all of his requirements? Because I can.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe the viewers can come out with something more that we haven't thought of.
So I don't want to say money's no object, but I don't know.
Under 150.
Under 150
ideally.
grand would be ideal. 4 seats.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at least 4 seats. Convertible. Likely European, I would say. Probably has to be European. Has to have a tan steering wheel and a tan interior in general. Tan steering wheel is a big thing.
Can't even be a red interior, he told me last night.
No, it's got to be tan. Tan interior with a tan steering wheel. And it has to be unique in the way that it's not a Porsche 911. Because like you could argue, 911 does all that. It's 4-seater. It's European. It can have a tan steering wheel. But he won't do a Porsche. He's owned a Porsche in the past.
And you might be thinking that this is a 65-year-old man.
No, he's actually younger than both of us.
Yes.
he's just about my age. He's like 2 months younger than me. But yeah, so a couple of things that have been considered, the Ferrari California.
Which is his front runner at this point.
Cali T.
What's the difference with the T?
Aston Martin something or other?
The T just a newer one?
The Cali T is the turbo motor. And it's newer, yeah. So yeah. What else is he considered?
Well, the Bentley Continental's been up there.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Why not?
Well, because he won't buy a Continental that's older than a certain year because he thinks the steering wheel's ugly. This is the kind of like weird sort of things.
Yeah, 911's no good.
911's no good.
Why not the LC500?
Because it's not special enough to him. Because I told him that. I'm like, dude, LC500 is like the perfect old fart car, and you get the tan steering wheel. It makes an awesome noise. You can have a convertible.
Do you think if they made an LCF?
No, he won't go. He won't do a Japanese car. Wow. He doesn't. He's just not his thing. He's a European car guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's going to have to be a Ferrari California. I don't know what else is going to. Because I mean, you could also argue the Mercedes AMG GT, which he may go 2-seater for one of those. But I don't know that you can get a tan steering wheel on an AMG GT. Can you?
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Probably not.
So that would
Although
rule
I'm
that
sure
one
someone
out.
would do it for you.
That's what our buddy Sean always argues. He's like, Matthew, you can just get you can get it. You can switch the steering wheel and you can have it look OEM. Like there will be a company for like $1,000 that'll
Literally.
redo the steering wheel in tan. It'll look beautiful.
Yeah, I've never driven a Ferrari California. I'm sure they're still quite good.
Chris says they're pretty good.
Okay. So it's just, to me, there's something about Ferrari that is almost just kind of like the easy answer.
That's true.
Like it's just like the iPhone of supercars. It's like, yeah, I understand why people do them because they're great, but also then you have to be one of those. Like you're in the Ferrari clan. Then you can't just have a Ferrari and then have other things. You become a Ferrari person. I feel like, isn't that like you said that Lingenfelter sold a bunch of his Ferraris, right?
I don't know that he sold them.
They just weren't.
But
there.
I went there a few months ago, and none of the Ferraris. Well, there was like one Ferrari, and it was a Roma, which is the newest Ferrari, and I think that it was just a Collie dealership car because it had a big Collie banner behind it. So I don't even think it was his.
We've talked about like what are some of the like weirder cars. He does like Lotuses a lot too, right?
Yeah, that's been the runner up is the Lotus Emira right now, and he was trying to get an allocation for one. He told me that if we had a Lotus Emira presser, he was going to fly out to California just to see it.
That's fair.
And I know he would have. He legitimately would have.
Well, we still might get an Emira.
Yeah.
I think he should go Bentley. I really think he should. Yeah, I think that'd be good for him. Yeah, so if you have any recommendations or suggestions on cars that kind of fit a lot of those criteria, just like what cars are speak to you at like 100 to 150,000? Sports cars, obviously. What about a Mercedes S-Class convertible?
That'd be a good one. Like an
we really
like an
considered
S63
yeah.
convertible.
Like a 2018?
Yeah, he does like S-Classes.
You can get a V12 still. You could get a 65 of those.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a sweet one.
You could get tan steering wheel.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, "That's no special enough."
Probably, yeah.
Would he spring if humor me?
I love how we always end up talking about Matthew on every
He's a
podcast.
cool guy. If you could get your hands on a,
We need to have him on, is what we need to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
If we could get our hands on a Wraith for under 200,000, do you think he would?
Wraith's a coupe.
Sorry, the Dawn.
The Dawn, yeah, or Phantom Drophead.
Yeah, Phantom Drophead's gonna be way too expensive. A Dawn. Do you think he'd do that?
Maybe.
All right, so Dawn. We need to look into Dawn and S-Class convertible.
Dawn, S-Class convertible, and California T.
Well, he's already looked quite into that. We know. Yeah. So let us know if you have any other. I thought maybe the Callaways, but you said it's too Corvette for him, right? Like a Callaway.
No, he wouldn't do a Corvette.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not that old.
So the BMW M3.
I was gonna say that's been our thoughts on the M3 50R.
Yeah, you can see how quickly we get distracted by it because it's if you did everything right in a simulation.
That's how
what a sports car should be.
That's what the cars that the Germans make.
Well, don't put Porsche into those. Right?
What?
Don't put Porsche into that group.
About being perfect cars?
Yeah. What you're lumping in because I'm saying they're boring.
Oh,
the
no,
M3 is
Porsches
boring,
aren't boring.
and you said that's what the German cars do. No.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know you were calling it boring. I thought you were calling it perfect.
No. We also had the Hyundai Elantra N with the 6MT, and that was brilliant.
Yeah, Charlie, how many miles did you put on that car?
Over 600 miles.
Where did you even go to put that many miles on a car?
I did the highway fuel economy test.
That was 100.
Yep. I went to Lansing. I went to Howell, and then I went to Lansing to go to the CoPart.
You're lucky they didn't shoot you out there for having a Korean car.
Nope. And then I came down home from that. I went to Ann Arbor. I went to the airport. I went to Ann Arbor again. Yeah, I guess I just drove around a lot. Like it was one of those weeks I had to drive.
A lot of things. I know I've said this a million times, but
and you went up to Livonia once, so that's 50 miles.
Oh,
so,
true.
When
we had the Kona, I did the same thing.
Yeah,
because I spent most of the week with the Kona N, and I would just at night, Emily's at work. I'm just like, I'll go for a drive. Go out, golden hour, rip through Ann Arbor, go under the bridges, downshift, pop, and just go get a bubble tea and do it all again on the way home.
Alyssa asked if we could get Maize last week, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Dude, can we get Maize today?
No, Daily Motors broke. Yeah,
I'm not broke. I can go get Maize.
Sure, yeah, if you want to do it. Something happened this weekend with revenue.
Did you become more broke?
Yes, we did together because I have no idea why, but Daily Motor CPM revenue just like halved.
Did it tank?
Yeah,
That's weird.
cut in half for some reason. I have no
Good thing
idea
I've
why.
photographed a couple cars this month.
Yeah, it's gonna be we're gonna be hungry boys here at DMHQ for a little while, but that's okay because as long as we keep getting Hyundai N products,
We'll be happy.
I'm okay to be.
Also,
okay
if you'd like to become a Daily Motor member and support Charlie's wallet, not mine because I don't get member things because I don't contribute to member things,
correct,
then support Charlie.
you know, you actually could probably make members only sound tests pretty easily because you just drive around and listen to music all the time. So all
Would
you'd
you
have to
pay
do
me
is
for those?
you just put them up, and then yeah, sure.
Well,
I don't know how I'd pay you because yeah, you can have
how much? Well, I'll ask you this later.
Yeah, you can have $5. I'll give you $5 to just drive around and listen to your music.
I was thinking about doing that on my own channel, honestly.
Yeah,
I was
that's not
thinking
bad.
about doing it.
Right. Well, then you got to get members and everything, though. It's a whole thing, but maybe some people might.
Yeah.
Anyway, we like the N products because they focus on fun.
And they make pops and burbles.
Hyundai straight up said when they first developed the Veloster N, they cared less about track times than they did about a fun driving experience. And you really can see that when you compare them to a lot of their competitors. The Volkswagen GTI, way too focused and boring. And I don't even know what they focused on. They focused on being a bad car.
The GTI.
Yeah.
They focus on having 10 fog lights
Yes.
and no climate control panel.
Yeah. And yeah, just putting you into the guardrail when you try to change your radio station.
Sorry to get distracted
we're getting
again.
a lot of tangents today.
I saw a video of a Tiguan with the same steering wheel as the GTI. Okay, if you're unfamiliar, Volkswagen has these steering wheels with haptic touch
Which
buttons.
they're already moving away from because
They're moving away from them. And I was watching this video of this guy driving a Tiguan, and every time he turned the steering wheel, the car was honking.
Whoa.
And there were a lot of people that were commenting below it. I think it was on TikTok. They were like, yeah, I've got a GTI, or yeah, I've got a Tiguan, whatever. And none of my haptic touch buttons work anymore. They're like, my steering wheel's unusable. And there's another person that's like, yeah, I have a Tiguan. I've had my steering wheel replaced twice since I've gotten the car because the buttons stopped working.
Chris, at this point in your life, you've probably driven over 1,000 different cars.
Easily.
I've probably driven over 2,000 different cars.
Yeah.
Because of working a few years at Car and Driver before that. So different car pretty much every night for a few years.
Yeah.
Or every day. Multiple per day when we're doing testing and things like that. Never one singular time have I ever been in a car, any of those thousands of cars, and thought to myself, I wish these buttons on the steering wheel weren't buttons. Not a single
Nobody
time.
has.
No, it's a thought that hasn't ever crossed someone's mind. So the fact that they did that blows my mind. In fact, the only time I remember thinking about steering wheel buttons and talking about them around the office at C&D was when we got our long-term 718 Boxster S, and it had the cool Porsche steering wheel with no buttons.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything stocks. And we said, good. It's just steering wheel. So adding those haptic feedback things were probably the worst thing that Volkswagen's ever done.
Well, in the same way.
And in fact, it might be the worst things any Germans have ever done.
Emily's going to get here and she's going to say they're still complaining about steering wheel buttons and climate control panels at this point.
It's awesome.
Got to get the Daily Motor sponsored hand sanitizer.
Ah, yes. I gave that to you.
Yes, you did. Charlie was just talking about being broke and not being able to afford food, and
Emily coming in super
Problem
clutch
has been
with
solved.
the are these
they're warm still. There you go. Here, we always eat on here. Just have one.
these are Pillsbury, aren't they?
Would you like some hand sanitizer? You're not interested in things like
No,
that. That's
I
why
need
you
to
gave it
boost
to me.
my immune system, Chris. You have to expose yourself to germs, Emily.
I think she would. She's the medical person here, Charles. What were we talking about? Climate control panels.
Steering wheels. Things we do a lot around here.
I was just saying Emily's going to get here and think that that's all we ever talk about is haptic touch steering wheel buttons and lack of climate control panels.
Well, that's how you be a good car journalist, is complain
Well, we
about
haven't talked
CarPlay.
about Apple Car. Oh, there you go. Anyways,
This is going to be a very off the rails episode.
yeah, it is. Well, that's what the people like.
The next car we had at Daily Motor was an all-U car, so should we wait to talk
Oh,
about that
crap.
until after you?
Yeah,
start
talk
your
about
Facebook?
something else.
Um,
We're doing ASMR.
I have something to talk about. Block you out again. Chris, you're gonna appreciate this.
Why?
We'll see.
Oh, is it Facebook Marketplace related?
Yes. But not necessarily in the way that you think.
Did you message someone again and then immediately block them?
No. Here's your car.
Oh.
Oh, no. Did you? I sent this to you. You
No, I
haven't
didn't
seen
see it. I should see it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop buying red ones.
Mm-hmm. People are going to think you're just like selling the same car over and over again.
Did you put us up on here?
Not yet, because I don't want people to see until it's up.
You reduced Peggy?
No, well, yeah. Let me see.
You should do a raffle for Peggy to subscribers.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. Raffle off. See how many people are interested. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that,
saw 100 tickets for $20 a piece. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Okay, let us know if you think you'd be interested in
Literally.
buying raffle tickets.
Would you like
for
your
Peggy.
second one of these?
Sure, thank you. Side note again, really going off on tangents. Regular Car Reviews is auctioning an SVT Lightning. Mm-hmm.
My dream car.
$50 a ticket.
I might actually do that. Are they in America?
Yeah, they're over in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm. So out of touch with automotive YouTube people that aren't us.
All right, don't look at the screen for a minute.
Okay. I'll take this time to ASMR open my San Pellegrino.
Okay. It's going to take a minute to bring up because you know how Facebook Marketplace is never the same anytime you use it.
Yeah. I think that was the subject of like a whole podcast once.
Mm-hmm.
Made with ingredients from natural Italian fruits. These pomegranates are Italian.
Dude, what the heck?
Did you not save the listing?
Oh, yeah, duh, thank you. This is why I have Chris around. Okay.
Now I can look. Oh, it's your truck. Oh, it's your truck. 7,500.
This is the King Ranch F350 that I acquired a few months ago, being sold by not the person who I sold it to.
What?
And it's already cycled through at least one other owner.
How much you want to bet the title's still in your name?
Decent. Well, actually, no, because there's an Ohio plate on it now.
What?
And this person was not degenerate enough and didn't... Wait, where's the...
Why did he sell it with the...
There we go. You can see right there.
He sold it with the wheels on it.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe to sell it for more. He also
And
may
it's
have
still
traded.
dirty. Why do people keep listing the truck like so muddy?
I don't think it's been washed since I sold it to him. But look, you can see.
Dented ass door still.
But he fixed this bumper. Or this...
That fender's fixed, yeah.
Mhm.
Is the other
Which fender?
fender fixed?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it is. It's got a
No,
flare
look right
on it.
there.
Yeah, but it's got the flare back on it.
Did it not have the flare before?
I don't think it did.
I know. Door's still messed up. And the newer wheels, yeah. This is still kind of messed up in the back.
What's the description say?
2003 Ford F350 with a 6.0 Power Stroke. Automatic transmission. Transmission is weak in reverse and shifts a little high when cold. So nicely put. Starts well in the cold, which I think is a very sneaky way to mask the fact that it doesn't start when it's warm.
That's true.
To point out that it starts well in the cold. I have put new mirrors and straight pipe on, so it's got an exhaust now at least.
That's good, yeah.
Truck is studded and deleted with no tune. I think that's all accurate. Does not charge the coolant system. Oh yeah, it's saying that it's not a bad thing, and there's no coolant in the oil. Interior is beautiful, which I agree.
Yeah.
And everything works as it should. That's a bit of a stretch, unless the other guy did a lot of work on it, which is possible. 7,500 OBO will consider trades, but cash is king in Ohio.
Well,
I think I should
where's
offer
Oak Harbor?
It's down kind of past Toledo near Sandusky.
So it hasn't gone too far away.
No.
Surprised it made the drive down there.
I think I should
54 miles somebody did in that truck.
I think I should offer him a trade for the truck that I traded from that.
You should. You should. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty amusing. So speaking of trucks, tell us about your week with the
GMC Sierra 1500 AT4-X, which I'm a bit confused on.
Okay.
Because I actually found on the website where you can spec it.
Yeah, because last week on the podcast we
Couldn't
tried
find
to
it.
do that and couldn't find
It's
it.
a very specific cab and bed configuration, which I've already forgotten what it is. But
Sure. Probably full cab short box.
Here's what's weird though, okay? If you go on the website and you spec one, they start at 83 grand.
For AT4X or just AT4?
AT4X.
Huh.
My truck
That's still a lot.
was 80 grand as spec'd.
That is quite confusing.
Yeah, and it didn't have the AT4X bumpers.
Well, maybe they just added a bunch of money to the price because manufacturers have been raising their prices on a lot of things.
No,
recently.
if you go to
this is worth
GMC.
it?
Yeah, because
Okay, all right.
it's just strange. But while you're doing this, I'll talk about the truck. Normal GM stuff. I prefer GM trucks the most.
Yes. GMC specifically because they're less degenerate than Chevys.
Exactly. Would I get an AT4X? Probably not. I'd go for a Denali. But just living with the GM trucks is nice. That 10-speed automatic is glorious. The one thing I wish they would do is give us a different powertrain for the higher up special trucks like the ZR2, the AT4X, trucks like that.
You think the 6.2 isn't rowdy enough?
It doesn't have enough power. It feels slow.
Which is funny
420 horsepower.
because the 6.2 used to be one of the best motors you could get in a truck.
Well, it weighs 6,000 pounds.
That doesn't help.
420 horsepower feels like nothing.
In this newer generation, they nerfed it a bit with emissions and everything, and the extra dynamic fuel management. So it sounds worse than the previous 6.2.
Well, it doesn't make
and
any
doesn't
noise. It doesn't make any noise at all.
Right.
No. I can see from, like, I can understand who would buy it. It's someone that wants to do more slow technical off-roading or someone that just wants to flex that they have a 2-inch lift over a regular AT4. But for $80,000, it just seems kind of insane when you could get a Denali instead.
Would you take the 6.2 over the 3.5 EcoBoost? Like, did you just enjoy it?
Yeah, well, neither motor is really that much for me. I mean, whatever. I would take either one.
So what truck motor do you like?
The inline 6 diesel that you can get on GMCs.
Yeah,
you can't
fair
get on the AT4X though. AT4X is only the 6.2.
Oh, AT4X.
AT4X is only
well,
only
then let's do
a
this
6.2.
build here. Is it crew cab standard box?
Should be.
Or no, crew cab short box.
Short box.
That's probably where I missed it last time. Start new build. All right, crew cab short box, which is ridiculous to me, but okay. 4-wheel drive AT4X. There it is.
Mine didn't have. Excuse me. Mine didn't have those bumpers.
Oh, that's probably a good thing because that looks hideous.
Yeah. Well, it gives you better approach and departure angles.
Would you have needed that in the parking lots that you were parking?
Yes.
Okay. I would rather have the Denali Ultimate for the $500 more. $400
That's what I'm saying,
more.
dude. It's like it's the same price as a Denali Ultimate, and it's a regular Denali. How much is a Denali with a 6.2? A regular Denali.
73.
Okay.
Or you could just have an AT4, not X,
which is what my
with a
truck
6.2
looked like, dude.
for 70.
Something weird. There was something weird with the presser because it didn't look like that. I mean, it was an AT4X. It said AT4X on the car. It said it on the Monroney, everything, but it didn't have those bumpers. It didn't look like that. So I don't know. And it was a 23, and we're building a 23, so it's not like they switched it. It had the Multimatic DSSV. It had those.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say those Multimatic shocks in the GM vehicles are really good.
They're a little stiff. It's
They are
damped a little stiff.
Yeah, compared to Toyotas. I suppose,
and Ford and Ram.
Did you have the Bose Premium series with 12-speaker system?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was okay.
Did your parents listen to music about drugs and depression the whole time since you were driving?
Yes. Okay. It was a little hollow, not hollow, but like, I don't know. It
kind of
wasn't. It wasn't super crispy. No. It had power.
Okay.
But it wasn't super crispy. I don't know.
Why can you get 22-inch wheels on an AT4X? That doesn't seem like a good thing for off-roading.
Mm-hmm.
We had 21-inch wheels on the Porsche Cayenne and still managed to blow out the sidewall.
Don't say we.
Oh, this is the Denali Ultimate. How did I get on that? Here we go, AT4X. Yeah, no.
You can probably still get 21-inch wheels.
Probably something, yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, it's exactly what you expect. I mean, it's a Silverado ZR2 with a better interior.
Okay, but now you're making assumptions that the viewers and listeners know about the Silverado ZR2. So how did it drive? What was the ride like for? Because I assume you just mostly drove on road.
Yeah, it had a little bit of a bouncy ride, but overall it was fine.
How's the tire noise? Road noise?
Decently loud.
What did your F-150 owning father think of the interior?
Likes it better than his F-150.
That's understandable. Was it pleasant to get in and not hear?
Yeah, but I also wish that it just had a column shifter.
What does it have?
force shifter.
So it takes up a bunch of space.
Takes up space.
Yeah.
And it also just doesn't do like, it's just like whatever. It's just like it's like a BMW shifter.
Yeah, Ram is the only one that does it right with the
dial.
Yeah.
I think all trucks should just have a column shifter at this point.
My F-250 has a column shifter.
I know it does.
Yeah.
Superior.
Be cool if the Maverick had a column shifter.
You know,
I also got to do a lot of driving in the Maverick this week. I got to do truck stuff.
Did you haul something that was much too big for the Maverick?
Almost. And I'm so frustrated with myself that I forgot to get a video of it, but I put a full-size motorcycle in the back. A little bit smaller than the V-Strom.
I cannot believe you didn't document that.
I know.
Did you get a photo?
No.
Oh.
I forgot because I had gotten in and I was like, all right, when I get to the garage, I'll get video of this. But then Keone was here and his buddy Kevin was here and the guy I was transporting the bike from was here. And it was just
What bike
chaos.
was it?
It's a Yamaha FZ1.
Is it here now?
Yes.
Where?
In the motorcycle area.
Oh.
Because when I put something in the garage, I put it away properly.
I haven't noticed that.
I don't think you've walked into the back of the garage since you got here.
I was here yesterday.
Oh.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, it's very
What color
nicely
is it?
It's gray.
That's probably why I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Looks like identical to the other gray bike that's sitting over there.
You were probably just noticing the engine that's like right in front of your BMW.
Oh yeah, that's like an inch from my car.
Yeah. Alyssa saw that. She's like, "Is Chris going to be upset that there's an engine that like could nearly fall on his BMW?" And I said, "No, he doesn't care about that car." But yes, I like the interior of the GM trucks. I think they ride really well, and I'm glad that the facelift that happened in mid 2022 brings the interior up to the niceness of the rest of the truck.
The new interior is nice, and it's essentially what you get in the Chevy. It's just nicer overall materials. Like it had Alcantara headliner, it had wood on the dash and the door panels, had nice contrast stitching, and just everything you touched in there felt nice. It didn't rattle at all. Whereas if you get the Silverado ZR2, you're spending about $10,000 less, but your interior is like a whole level down.
And you have to marry your cousin.
Yeah. Whereas in a GMC, it's probably like second or third cousin.
Yeah. You could go
get a little further away.
Yeah. Speaking of trucks, Ram fully announced their electric truck.
I saw that, and I was hoping it would look crazier.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because Stellantis, everything they make is just preposterous.
Bonkers. And you wanted that to be
preposterous. And I wanted it to have like laser beams and a bunch of stupid things that they would put on an electric Ram. It needs to have tow mirrors that stick out 6 feet from either side.
That's fair.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think it's an attractive truck, but I think that Ram as a company, they should have gone crazier.
And I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I'm not super confident in the American, Italian, French brand building a successful electric vehicle.
Italian, French. No, there's no chance it's going to catch on fire, is there?
No.
Lots of people will be confident to put that vehicle in their garage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think we're going back to the gasoline trucks, the ones that you can actually go out and buy right now for $100,000. If I were leasing, I would get the Ram. If I were going to own the vehicle for a long time, I'd get a GMC.
I'd get a Silverado High Country.
Really?
With Super Cruise.
Why wouldn't you get the GMC Denali? Because you haven't driven it yet.
Silverado High Country. Well, yeah, I haven't driven it yet.
Yeah.
Out of trucks I've driven, the High Country sticks out as being my favorite ever.
Yeah.
So
that screen is really good.
It's a great screen.
Yeah.
They're just missing a physical button for cameras is the only thing. You have to go into the screen to do
That's
it.
That's actually a really good point in the truck because you want to hit that real quick.
And the Ford has a physical button, so Ford's ahead there. But at least it's on the home screen of your screen. But if you're on CarPlay, you've got to get out of CarPlay. And so, or if you're using anything. If you're using...
if you're in any other screen.
So that truck has built-in Google Maps.
Yes.
But I think you have to pay for it.
Probably.
Yeah. So why would you do that when you can just plug your phone in and have it for free?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or not even plug your phone in. Wireless.
It's true.
Just have it in your pocket. Drain the battery down.
Get in and
have Google Maps. So you could either choose to pay for Google Maps or you could choose not to. Yeah. Or you can just buy a phone and not be poor. Yeah.
So if you want to learn more about the GMC Sierra 1500 AT4-X, make sure you watch my review here on Daily Motor or over on the Topher. Or if you want to watch the GMC Sierra 1500 AT4-X without talking, you can watch my videos on Winding Road Magazine.
So you shot a review for Daily Motor and the Topher?
Yes.
Did you come up with different things? Did you just say the same things but less eloquently for Daily Motor?
I said the same. I did the Daily Motor review first, and then I said all the same things in the Topher's cadence for the Topher.
And better, and you mentioned ground clearance.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you shoot for Topher drives where you just didn't talk about the truck at all and you just talked about takedowns?
No.
Okay.
You mean takeovers?
Takeovers. I thought.
No.
Yeah. Takeovers.
Takeovers. No, I didn't. No, I was filmed out. At that
Yeah, I
point.
feel like for 3 days straight,
4
I saw your
videos, I
B-reels
was like,
and you were
oh my
just
God.
like standing in the same spot with the truck. Like, yeah,
Oh, I mean, I spent pretty much the whole trip driving the truck. So,
sure. Tell us more about your Denver trip. Did you guys sample some good beers?
my father did. I didn't.
Yeah. You didn't
Pretty
just
much
taste a few of them to like be like,
Yeah.
okay,
No.
all right. Did he have a good time?
He did.
Sampling beers?
Yeah.
Did you guys go to anywhere like particularly like whoa?
Not really. Just kind of around the Denver area and all the normal spots. We went to this town called Greeley, and it smelled like cow turds because they do a lot of farming up there. Yeah, and that smell kind of stuck in the truck for the rest of the trip. So
You got a rose when you showed up to the truck. That was nice.
yeah,
Wasn't it?
they left a rose on the dash. See, I don't know if that was Navs or if that was the valet people at the.
I think it's the valet.
Probably the valet
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
I was going to
it's
say,
like
I
what
don't
they do
think
at the
Navs
thing.
would,
Yeah,
would
they just
put a
have a
rose.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am dying to hear about your CoPart story.
Well, we can do that, but first we have to talk about the cars we're getting this week
Oh,
at
that's
Daily
right,
Motor
yeah.
Headquarters. Can't forget the proper order, Chris. This week we are driving the electrified G80 from Genesis, and I'm quite excited about that car because I think the G80 is very underrated. I think it's a good car.
I've never spent any time in one, so.
Really?
Well, I've driven one for like half an hour, but
Oh, yeah. They're well priced. They provide a lot of great features. They look nice, ride well, and this one is fully electric. So we're curious about that. I think it's gonna be really quite good.
I've been wanting to drive this car for so long.
Me too. Yeah, I think
And we're
yeah.
finally getting it.
Yep. So tune in next week to hear more about that. And then we're also getting a Kia Telluride SX Prestige. And I told Matthew about that
SX Prestige.
yesterday. And he's like, "Why didn't you get the X Pro?" I'm like, "Because
We don't want to
Matt,
listen to the time.
you look at where we live. Like,
Yeah.
I want luxury. I don't want off-roading."
Chris will get the X Pro.
Probably, and then he'll complain about it. But he'll still get 100.
No, he'll like it. Oh, although no, he might not because he complained about the Kia Sportage thing.
And he
No, the
complained-
Hyundai. It was the Hyundai. The XRT. That's what
Yeah,
it
the X Pro is a little bit better, but yeah, I mean it's mostly just tires and appearance and stuff. But it's okay because they made the Telluride uglier for 2023.
They did.
And
They
so
definitely did.
it's irrelevant now.
It's not even that it's uglier. It's just less unique now because they
It's
got
less
rid
attractive.
of the one thing that made the Telluride stand out, which was the orange running lights.
Yeah, I was in front of a Telluride on the highway last night, and it had its orange DRLs on.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "This just look.
It just looks
looks
good.
cool."
They could have still given it a facelift, and I don't know.
It's very
Whatever.
strange. Kia confuses me sometimes with the decisions they make.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we fully expect that car to be great. I think we're going to have a nice Korean week. We've had a lot of Korean cars lately, and they
Yeah,
work.
it's a
They beep a
solid-
lot, but they just are nice
Solid
to be
week
in.
of Korea.
We need to figure out the prime minister. Emily, can you look up the prime minister of South Korea for me, please? Or president. It might be a president there. I'm just curious. We need to start being able to refer to him or her. I think it's a her.
Because you only know the North Korean one.
Yeah, I'm a big enthusiast. It was a lady named Soon, Sun,
What's
like
the
Soon or
person's
Sun,
name?
I think, but I think she was corrupting with Samsung and got ousted. Yeah, 2022. Yoon Suk Yeol, president of Yoon Suk. Oh yeah, kind of like
see.
Seoul. Yeol. If you're Korean, let us know how to pronounce that properly, and let us know if he's a cool dude and if he's into cars.
I bet he has a G90.
That would be a good car. We have probably the new one with the supercharger
probably rides
and
around in it.
everything. Yeah. Conservative. Well, yeah, but conservative in other countries often means like still pretty liberal compared to us Yanks here in all the U.S. of A. Like seriously, do you know like liberal, very liberal on our side is like conservative over in Europe?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are like these new factions of like Nazis that kind of crop up in some of the European countries, but they're still pretty condemned. But no, in general, like the politics are just shifted so right wing here over in America and Australia, I think. So, yeah, Korea, nice cars. We'll tune back in. These cinnamon rolls have made me a burping enthusiast. I am, yeah. I have gluten difficulty. Gluten doesn't sit super well with me. I've been doing well though lately with my foods in general.
Yeah.
I think I'm not overstuffing myself.
Charlie would need a full engine rebuild to sort out his burping.
So, typically, Chris has a lot of vehicles for us at the CoPart segment, but I took a physical trip out to one of our local CoPart locations last week in order to inspect what I thought was a killer deal on a Ford F-250 King Ranch with the V10 gas motor.
That's right. Triton, baby.
Yeah, I was very, very close to pulling the trigger and buying it now for $1,950,
Which after fees would have been like $2,500 probably.
Yep, roughly after taxes too, 27.
27. Okay.
28 if you pay with credit card.
Jeez.
And
That's how they get you.
I smartly went up to inspect the vehicle to see it. It was a beautiful day, and the Lansing CoPart yard was actually really nice. You know how you go to the Detroit one and it's like a little metropolis? There's like 15 loaders running around everywhere, and there's a bunch of people of various ethnicities like waiting for their cars to come out. And it's a lot. It's overwhelming. Yeah. The Lansing yard was so chill. Really? It was a singular forklift thing kind of going back and forth. It was just like you just kind of walk. I was the only person.
Did you go with Nathan?
No, I went by myself.
You by yourself?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was the only person in the like in the lobby waiting yard thing. I had to buy a vest, but whatever. Now I have one, and I strolled around that yard for over an hour.
Oh, it's easy to do.
Just looking around.
I've gone there before and been there for multiple hours, just walking around.
It was like my happy place. It was like going to a
garden. Great, dude. It's the coolest thing. We should go in the spring.
Yeah.
Or like nice. Literally now because it's warm.
Romantic walks around the CoPart.
We should. Yeah. Have a picnic on the roof of some clapped F-150.
So I checked out the truck and found out that the right front suspension, where the shock mounts to the frame, had snapped.
That's bad. That's like it's done.
Yeah.
That's a parts truck.
It's possible you could weld it back and use it, but at that point, you know that the integrity of the entire frame is crap. It's all rusted and everything, so why even bother? But yes, the truck still would have been worth more than what it sold for in parts. It sold for about $1,400.
Oh, it actually sold?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was sold on approval, and then they took it.
Okay.
Yep. But while I was there, I found a few cool cars. I'll bring them up here in a moment, but some of them have already sold, so they're gone.
Oh, okay.
They're not on my watch list anymore, but I can at least tell you about them. There was a donated car that was a two-door full-size Tahoe from like the late 90s.
Oh, nice.
Super cool. Run and drive and everything like that, but I think it was dealer only.
Okay. Was it rusty?
Not really. Wow. For what it was like kind of smelled gross inside, but like it was probably something that just like sat around for a while.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Those are expensive vehicles now.
Yeah. It would have been a good flip.
Yeah, they're pricey now.
Yep.
Because they've all rusted in half.
Mm-hmm. Let me bring up my CoPart watch list. This one is one that I think I'd like to keep an eye on for Alyssa, because let me make sure the viewers can see this. I apologize. Oh. This, for those of you listening, is a 2012 Mini Cooper S Countryman. And
where's it damaged?
Alyssa is a big Countryman enthusiast, so she's always keeping an eye on those. You can see the front end here is damaged.
Okay,
the bumper is coming off, but it's a run-and... It says it's enhanced, but I don't really know why.
That just means they washed it.
Washed it?
Yeah, it means they sprayed it off. That's what enhanced means.
But it's not running and driving.
Oh, God.
It has been a bit packed in the ass.
Oh, my God. There's no fixing that, dude.
You don't think so?
No.
Why not? Because it'd just be way too hard
to... Look at the quarter glass is smashed out of it. That's how hard it got hit.
Yeah, okay.
I bet you the roof is buckled and everything.
Okay, so it has been hit pretty darn hard.
Did you see that in person?
Yeah.
Well, it probably had a bunch of plastic wrap on it, right?
No.
It was just sitting outside getting rained in?
Yep.
Oh,
look at that, though.
You definitely don't want it. It's manual.
Yeah, it's a manual Cooper S Countryman. It'd be a fun little runaround car. But yeah.
I if it were me, no, that'd be a parts car. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It also doesn't run because it doesn't have a run and drive.
Right.
Sometimes though, BMWs after they get hit, they blow some fuse and they can't start anymore.
This one has been sitting here for a while for some reason. It last updated in November
2022.
Yeah,
it's brand new.
And this is I want to say $20,000 to $30,000 motorcycle.
Whoa.
And it's not actually that damaged. I sat on it.
Someone has dropped it or what?
No, they definitely hit something, but you can see most of this is all okay.
It's a cool looking bike.
Very cool. It is Honda CBR 1000. I think it's a Fireblade. The handlebar right here is snapped. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe they show it.
Could you fix all this stuff?
Probably. This is scraped up, but like that's just a clutch cover that you can replace.
Okay.
That's plastics right there. The frame and everything seems totally fine. You could get a new handlebar. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on it, but nothing's happened for months on it. It's just
probably waiting on a title. Because like someone probably had a payment on it, and the insurance company's got to pay off the loan.
Okay.
And then get the title, transfer, like all that stuff. So
it's just been chilling. But this is all leading up to this one car, and I'm very interested. I think we should possibly buy it.
Okay. Is it still listed? Oh, obviously,
Yes.
if we think we should buy it.
Yes. So, you know how you said, when enhanced vehicles, they essentially just clean it.
Yeah, they
That's it.
spray it off. Yeah.
Well, this car was marked as enhanced.
Okay.
But I walked up to it, and I was like, this damage doesn't seem bad at all. Popped open the hood, everything perfectly fine. I get in it, and started right up. Started totally fine. And I knew that like they didn't have any of the info. It was like this. It says odometer, nothing. But like it started up, started fine. Like I even put it into gear and drove it forward and drove it back. Literally no problems, no
Wow.
check engine lights,
Okay.
anything.
What is it?
It is a 2013 Lexus CT200H.
Ah.
Yes, that has only suffered fairly minor front end damage. So you can see
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
the bumper's totally gone, but the hood is fine. It literally shuts, opens perfectly.
Oh, yeah. You look all around it.
Yep.
Headlights are good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can see nothing wrong in the back. There's literally just minor
Why do
dents and scratches.
so they mark it as a non-running driving car.
Yeah.
So that might mean that we could get this cheap then, because people
Yes.
think that it doesn't run and drive.
Yeah. Everything.
You know why,
back
I
here,
bet?
totally-
Let me give you my reason for why I bet they marked it as a non-running driving.
Okay.
They got in, started it, the motor didn't fire up, and then they weren't putting their foot on the brake with the stupid shifter to try and get it to move, so they didn't.
Possible. That could be. Here you can see from the other side, still have a fog light intact there. Bumpers are about $500 painted.
Jeez.
I already looked it up.
It's a lot. But if you
But for a painted, like, good to go sort of thing, like whole assembly,
probably need
look
a
at
core
this
support.
interior.
Core support's probably cracked.
you
Damn,
got
beautiful.
some peanut butter seats.
You would just want to keep that car though.
Yeah, it'd be a great Alyssa car. Look, this is the photo they
cluster's
took.
not lit up.
But it literally started up fine, like showed everything for me. And so
That's
I went
strange.
I went as far to, and I battled with myself from a moral standpoint, but I was very, very tempted to go into the engine compartment and just like unplug something to make it continue to not work.
Yeah.
With you and I knowing that because look, it's a
man.
pure sale.
Yeah.
It's a pure
Well,
sale
you wouldn't
car.
need to do that because it doesn't. I mean, it says online. Then
So you don't think they'd change that? Like if they got in it today and like went to start it, you
they
don't
don't
think
get
they'd
in
go
them
and update
anymore.
it?
No.
They just forklift them
Yeah,
everywhere.
they forklift them everywhere.
So you and I know that this is a perfectly running 120,000 mile CT200H with 4 owners, and it was a Lexus certified car as well.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's not anymore because it's over 100,000, but like it was at one point.
Yeah, I think you should have that.
Yeah, estimated retail value $12,000.
What do you think it'll sell for? Like 5?
That's a better you question. You're more familiar with.
I don't know. You better put a deposit in though if you want to buy it.
Yeah, you're right.
So
So
I got $2,000 in buying power right now. I think.
yeah, me too. That's the base right now. They upped the base with no deposit to 2,000. Yeah, because it's telling me that I have 2,000 as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm eligible to bid. So it's a future listing still. I've
Okay.
just updated on the 30th.
Well, keep an eye on it.
We will keep an eye on
I
it.
love
This could
that
be
interior.
Alyssa's new car.
Interior's beautiful.
Unfortunately, no Mark Levinson.
Oh, I didn't even know you could get the CT with Mark Levinson.
Yeah, that's a proper Lexus. For those of you who don't know, the CT is essentially just Lexus's Prius. Same powertrain and everything.
Looks nice in black.
Yeah, that's a sharp car. It really is. Back seats, great condition. It does seem like it was owned at one point by a vaping enthusiast because I think there were some vape things in the cup holders.
Vaping enthusiast.
Yeah, but it's also got tints,
Okay.
which I am not a fan of.
You could take those off.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so that's that excited me. Oh, here's the engine compartment. Look, perfect. Literally like
Wow.
nothing. It's just started right up. It even did the Toyota thing where it starts for a while. It charged up the battery on the screen and then it shut off. And then I was like, okay, is it still good? So I put it into gear and like flipped the throttle and it started right up back again. So like, I don't know why this is marked as not running.
Huh.
And if
It's
any of
almost
you
like-
are listening to this, don't go and buy this CT. Because
It's
we're gonna
almost
buy
like somebody at CoPart
Is
maybe
in on
is
it.
trying to buy it, and they marked it as non-running so they can get it cheap. That's probably what it actually is.
it. Wow. Yeah, that's some collusion right there. But yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. I like that car a lot. I've always liked those.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they look nice.
Yeah. Do you have any CoPart cars for us?
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, the first one already sold, but I screenshotted it.
Okay, you want to just
So
describe
I'm
it to
gonna
us?
send it. No, you gotta see it.
You gonna Facebook the screenshot?
Yeah, can you put it
Yeah.
up on the thing?
Mhm, sure.
I will Facebook message it to you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to look at this thing you sent me also.
Yeah, you can do that after the The old Potter. Here we go. This is a 1998 Toyota pickup.
88.
88, sorry. And that is quite ruined.
Can they see it right now?
Yeah.
Are we on there?
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to read out the buy it now price.
Buy it now, $2. That'll almost be worth doing just to do it.
Yeah, but look where it's at.
Yeah, it's in Hawaii.
It's in Hawaii.
Have
Yeah.
Bev get it for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's literally, there's not a single, you can't scroll through the pictures, obviously, but I couldn't find a single usable part on this truck. I mean, that's how badly damaged it is.
Why does it even bother going to CoPart? Like, just crush it. Whoever's selling it would make more money
just sending
getting
it to
the crushed metal.
Just send it to get crushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Very strange.
Strange. Anyways, though, okay, we can go back to real CoPart now.
Okay.
I've got one. Actually, I've got a few.
Okay.
That are up in the UP with also very low buy it nows that I think that you, me, and Keone should go up and drive them all back.
Okay.
And here's the first one.
Do a challenge.
Yeah.
Will our CoPart cars make them back?
They would all be around $700 out the door, and they all run and drive.
Wow. All right. I'm excited.
Okay, here's the first one. 611 799 72. This is, I believe, the cheapest of
Ooh,
three.
this is a 2005 Cadillac DeVille.
Yeah.
It is a bit damaged, Chris.
A bit, yeah. But it does run and drive.
So you think we could just like pull this sheet
Yeah, you
metal
could,
away?
or just remove the fender.
Also, it has a Lando top.
Yeah, and the interior is remarkably clean.
Is it? Must have been owned by an old person.
You'd never know a Cadillac DeVille would be owned by an old person.
Oh, and it has a steering wheel cover that looks like a ribbed condom.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I know you'd be a fan of that.
Yeah.
Not because of the condom thing, but because of the steering wheel cover in general. Ooh, and our favorite motor, the North Star V8.
That would be what would limit you from getting home, but that'd be all part of the fun.
See, you and I need to own a North Star at some point. I've owned a 6-liter Power Stroke, which is considered one of the worst motors of all time.
Yeah.
And now we need to get a North Star
We need to
V8.
get a North Star, yeah. So this would be what I would drive, I think.
Okay, and it's $350 buy it now. That's amazing.
Yeah. Out the door, it'd be like $690 or something.
Ooh, you do have a battery light.
That's okay.
Probably just because they didn't start it.
Okay, next up is what you'd be driving.
Okay.
678 425 62.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2006 Ford 500. I don't like the 500 though.
Yeah, but it's a Ford, so this is what you'd have.
Okay.
Go ahead and scroll through the photos.
All right.
It's actually a really clean car. It's an SEL.
It's a very Stu car.
Yeah, well, we could bring Stu, and this could be his, and you could have the next car. But
Okay.
check out how clean this interior is in this thing.
Oh, wow. Is that cloth?
Very nice, yes.
It is actually really good. Even the steering wheel.
It's got wood trim.
Looks like the same steering wheel, similar, that was in my Escape.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So this is buy it now, $375. It runs and drives.
I am a wood grain enthusiast.
Yes, you are.
Wait, let's see. They said so. They didn't start it. Does have a check engine light, but maybe they're just couldn't be bothered, or battery could have been dead or something. Yeah. You're right. This actually is like if you just needed a. Did you look to see what happened? Probably just this. It's just so weird that this would total it.
Why? Why is that weird that would total it? How many
Because
miles?
this is a panel and
it has
a bumper and a
180,000
light.
miles on it. I know, but it's only worth like $2,000.
Okay.
So with labor, you got to consider labor too. Can total cars out.
Yeah. Okay.
Labor, paint. Yeah, somebody's here. Okay, here's car number 3.
Okay, so
which
this
is
is what
probably
Keone would have?
this is probably what you would drive actually.
So this is. Let me guess. All right, we're in the UP. You've already done a GM and a Ford.
Right. Okay. So what's left?
Well, it'd be a Dodge Intrepid, probably.
It's a Dodge from the same era as the Intrepid.
Oh, it's better not be an Avenger.
It's not. 679
679
317
317.
12.
This is a 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan.
Buy it now, $325.
Wow.
Runs and drives.
You could barely even bid any lower than that, probably. Oh, no. Well, I wonder what I like how there's a reserve, but yet the minimum bid's $325.
Yeah. Well, it's just because that's what you got to get. What you got to pay.
This one has been quite damaged.
Yeah, that's crashed worse than the other two.
But run and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would we do with them when we got home? Just scrap them? Well, you could actually sell the Cadillac and the Freestar. This would probably be scrap worthy. They started this one though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got a check engine light on, an airbag light, a brake light.
Well, that's probably because they're using the parking brake because they're good, proper driving.
I don't think that's why. There is actually one more car.
Ooh.
It's
bonus.
it's $100 more expensive than everything else.
That's maybe out of my budget,
This
Chris.
this would be the Keone one actually.
Okay.
710-953-12. This would be the most expensive car.
I figured it was a Subaru. It's a
Yeah.
2006 Subaru Legacy.
But it doesn't look that bad. Buy it now is $450.
Running drive, front end,
190,000
minor dents and
miles.
scratches. Maybe it's just because these are so notorious for not working well.
Maybe it looks like they hit a deer.
Yeah, that's probably impact.
Also, it's the only thing you can hit in the UP is deer.
Yes.
So there's nothing else.
And they do show it running here.
With plenty
Pretty
of
high idle.
condensation behind the cluster.
Yeah. I don't see any lights though.
Yeah.
Brake. No, it's just doors. Yeah. You're right. This would be Keone's. We'd
Yeah.
skip the Caravan. I would get the Ford. You'd get the GM, and
Keone can
Keone
have
this.
Subaru.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Very nice. I like the
Drive
color
them
on
all
this one.
back.
Mhm.
Stick some
Dude, just the wheels
in
itself,
transit repair plates on them
perfect. They would be in transit and
on their way to be
needing a
repaired.
repair.
Yeah,
Yeah. These wheels alone are probably worth nearly the buy it now price. Wheels and tires.
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, they look like they're in pretty good shape. Sell a few body parts, scrap the rest.
Yep.
Good shape.
Cats. I mean, dude, the catalytic converters on all these cars would probably pay for half what you're paying. You know?
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, is that it?
That's it.
Neat. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in, listening, or watching, however you consume your Daily Motor podcasts. We will be back at you next week to discuss our time with our Korean mobiles.
Mm-hmm.
And the week after that, next week, I guess that would be, we are driving the new Ford Maverick Tremor.
That's right.
And we're going to compare it against our FX4 Maverick.
And a mystery vehicle because the i7 is in need of an update.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one. We are Paris and Nicole, not from the simple life, not from the real world, but from Daily Motor. And as always, cinnamon roll on.